Hello, dear friends. A wave of good news. Game theory seems to be weakening. The 4th of July lived up to its reputation. It's all part of one positive timeline. Opinion piece. Unravelling. Outcome. Good news. Disinfection. Alignment process. End of an anomaly. Planetary exorcism. Activation of portals. Disappearance of darkness. Between August and October. Let's start. And unraveling is an ending, an outcome, a conclusion, a completion, or a solution. And entanglement is a deception that causes disturbances, dissensions, and lawsuits. To untangle is to undo a tangle, to put in order and without confusion what is disordered, to unwrap and get out of a difficulty. According to Cobra, the dark web of Atlantis have been eliminated, which has far-reaching consequences, and the process of untangling the lurker from the population, which is a quantum anomaly that has begun. The first month of this process will be a testing phase, where the forces of light will evaluate the population's response to the unraveling process and adjust accordingly. Once the testing phase is complete, proper untangling will begin. This process can be considered a planetary exorcism. The darkness, which until now was quantum as some quantum entangled with the human personality, will begin to disappear. An average of human being is over 90% infected with the lurker, and an average light missionary is still around 80% infected. As the process develops, the percentage of infection will begin to decrease. Humans will begin to be more aligned with the light and will begin to feel better. We will be in full process between August and October, and it will be a time of deeper inner work to strengthen the connection with the light. Additionally, enough anomaly has been removed to begin the final process of aligning this solar system with the galactic sea of love. The solar plasma is still under the control of the lurker, but the process of aligning itself into the heliopause has already begun. The heliopause is the point at which the solar wind joins the stellar wind from other stars. It would be the limit of the heliosphere. Many different star races, with their fleets positioned just beyond the heliopause, are sending beams of light into the solar system and disentangling it from the lurker. The ancient builder race has entered the solar system en masse and is activating many ancient stargates on various moons, asteroids, and on Mars. This will help to activate memories of positive Atlantis, to begin preparing human consciousness for the birth of New Atlantis. On the other hand, the Gata network continues to activate energetic portals of light to the surface of the planet, thus aiding in the liberation process. And the network of temples of the goddess is slowly being built. This network will help balance the planetary transformation process. Different groups of positive dragons are also being activated. Research news. More and more people are making the transition to gold. The Western Game of Thrones reaches its climax according to Sochafal. A collapse of civilization could be caused by so-called existential risks. The coalition is close to winning, but this is not over until it's over. So we must keep fighting until the end. It is said that there could be a total collapse of social order unless the cleanup is done in stages. That's what's going on now. According to Dr. Joseph Sanso, governments are fighting against their own civilian population. This global holiday began at the end of 2019 and exploded at the beginning of 2020. According to Mike Adams, change has hit the fan as the mind awakens to a new future. We have reached a turning point for civilization. There are so many changes underway that we can only say that change has come to an end. Operations based on game theory are being applied to counter their dark side. You are watching a movie. You are watching an entire operation unfold in real time, and just like a movie, there is a big plot twist with ups and downs in the script. The film should be played around the world for a sleeping ship to see. China's home sales have plummeted more than 30% in the past 5 months, despite government rescue efforts. China also needs a financial reset. What is the event? Financial readjustment. The beginning of a new just system with prosperity funds. The introduction of a new political and educational system and new advanced technologies. The release of ET information. The gradual awakening of humanity to the existence of positive races, not terrestrial. And their galactic connection. The liberation of spiritual growth for every human being on the planet. And many more things. Curious. Supernatural music discovered written on the mantle of the Virgin of Guadalupe. According to Windlander, an American has created a motorcycle that runs on beer. Elon Musk's SpaceX will build a vehicle to tow the International Space Station and crash it into the ocean. Magnetism is something that governs the universe. Each atom is a magnet, and magnetism is nothing more than a coherently polarized electrostatic field. A growing number of people are ditching their smartphones for dumb phones that only call and text to avoid being in zombie mode. Scientists finally opened the secret hidden hatch at the top of the Egypt's Great Sphinx. What secrets are hidden behind this ancient portal? Could it rewrite history as we know it? Europe. Surprising rise in the euro after Le Pen's victory. Le Pen accuses Macron of preparing a coup after a series of last-minute appointments. The French president and the German chancellor have declared that NATO will not participate in the war in Ukraine. Lagarde says the ECB needs more data to reassure itself about inflation. The European Commission imposes provisional tariffs of up to 37.6% on the import of Chinese electric cars. In Poland, miners have joined farmers against the government over burning coal for power plants, as well as importing coal from Russia and blocking the Polish mining. UK. Labour victory by absolute majority in the UK. Labour's Keir Starmer, new Prime Minister of the UK. The UK's nationwide bank blocks its depositors from withdrawing money. Princess Anne is associated with the coalition, intelligence sources say. Hungary. Orbán meets with Putin in Moscow despite rejection from the rest of the EU. Hungary began its 6-month presidency of the European Council. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán wants to end the conflict in Ukraine and uncontrolled immigration. Orbán asks Zelensky to cease fire and start negotiations. Let's make Europe great again, says Viktor Orbán. You have just wished the capture of the European presidency by the coalition. This occurs after the awakening of the population. Do you think it is a coincidence that Trump is an ally of Orban? Putin is considering supplying the Houthis with anti-ship ballistic cruise missiles. USA. The cost of housing at its highest level since 2007. The money supply is growing and a change in the stock market is coming. Bitcoin falls due to Biden drama and the risk of sales by the Japan government. X22 report. The dark side is ready to manipulate Bitcoin before the elections. Cyber attacks against auto dealers and the Fed hurt the economy. The FBI warns of the growing cyber threat in the renewable energy sector. Antony Blinken admits that the State Department is preparing to use artificial intelligence to censor free speech. Biden admits that messed up in his debate against Trump. I had a bad night, he said. Wall Street alert for a possible exit of Biden from the electoral race. Some top Democrats tell CNN they want Biden out of the presidential race this week. According to Johnny Watcher, Joe Biden is being held back by Democrats because they have no viable alternatives. Old Joe would retire, but they won't let him. China urges the US to stop exploiting Syria's resources. Spain. The arrival of tourists to Spain with 33 million and their spending once again break a record until May. The PP proposes using the armed forces to prevent the arrival of illegal immigrants and the government disqualifies the proposal. 9 priests in Catalonia are accused of alleged sexual abuse. The best tap water in Spain would be in cities like Burgos, Vigo, San Sebastián, and Las Palmas, in addition to Madrid. Valencia, Teruel, or Almería are very hot water. Americas. Hurricane Beryl is downgraded to Category 3 and continues its path towards the southeast of Mexico. Mexico becomes the US first trading partner in the first months of 2024. Milei launches its national literacy plan. The government of Argentina foresees a drop in GDP of 3.5% and inflation of 130% in 2024. The Congress of Peru approves polemic law to prescribe crimes against humanity. Arce perceives Bolivia's natural resources as the cost of the failed coup d'etat. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.